Okay, so we're making my beef and broccoli dish tonight. It's actually a recipe I've made many times before, but I just wanted to take a moment to talk about knives. Because I was thinking about what is the difference between a good knife and a bad knife, and what are some experiences that you've had. One is that when you're cutting something, whether it's small or big, you should really have to put relatively no pressure on the knife. Like I'm holding this knife very loosely, but firmly. But even if I cut like right here, I'm putting no pressure on the knife to get things apart, okay? If you have to put a lot of pressure on your knives when you're cutting, then you probably need to start looking at different knives because you're putting too much work. It should be no work to cut anything, whether it's small or thick, for example. So you see that was? You know, I can even just go like that. For example, let's just take this whole thing here, like go like this. Not that you would ever do that, but you know, you see what I'm saying? Like very relatively pressure, not hitting it super hard. I'm not sweating doing this. It's super, super easy. By the way, broccoli stems have a lot of nutrition in them, so it's always good to use them in your dish if you can. And sometimes I try to disguise them. So they look like something else, not stems. But they are really good to put in any dish that you do. Another thing is that if you have something soft, like an old carrot or cucumber or something, you shouldn't have to poke a hole to leverage yourself to cut it. You should just be able to take it and just slice it. Like that. And I don't know if you know this or not either, but the most dangerous knife you can have in your kitchen is a dull knife because you have to put more effort into it. You have more chances of cutting yourself and you have more chances of making a mistake in what you're cutting. And it shouldn't take that much effort like I just showed you. Like, for example, here's a really thin carrot. Since my knife is really sharp, I should be able to just go all the way through. Oh, I guess you can't see that. Hold on. Let me do that again. So I have a really thin carrot. I'm just holding it sideways. I'm just going to show you how easy it is to cut with a really good knife, okay? So I could go like this. See? I'm putting relatively little effort into it, and it's cut all the way. Now, if my knife was not sharp enough, these would all still be attached at the bottom. That's another sign that if you need to get new knives, because everything will be connected, and you'll have to go ahead and cut it again. Like, for example, let's just take this tiny little piece of broccoli. Now, I've left them connected to show you what you would get if you don't have a sharp knife. It would stay connected. See, this falls apart really easily. I'll show you again. So you see, I'm just putting a little bit of effort into it with my motion of my knife. I'm getting some really nice thin pieces just with my knife. And this is with the chef's knife. It's one of my favorite knives I've now gotten used to because the size of it doesn't intimidate me because I know how to hold it right. And that's because the weight of the knife is right too. I don't have to put a lot of physical effort into using the knife. And I don't have to worry about, am I going to cut myself with the knife because I'm holding it. The knife has a really equal balance on it because it is that German steel. It's tang all the way across, so the weight is even all the way across, so you don't have that floppy feeling. You have a nice firm feeling. My other favorite knife to use, where is it? Is gone. Oh, here it is, in the sink. This is our most used knife in the house for a couple reasons. One, Sentoku knife. One is because size of it is awesome. It's nice and small, so it's easy to hold because it has the 5-inch blade. But also, it'll chop anything that a chef's knife will do with just the same amount of effort. See that? So anyway, I just want to go on here really quick and talk to you a little bit about knives because I know when I did not have these knives and I had other knives that I thought were really great, I was putting a tremendous amount of effort into the knife, more of my body into the knife, and I wasn't able to cut really soft things without doing that poke trick in the middle. You shouldn't have to do that with your knives. They should be sharp enough to just kind of be able to approach it like this, and you should be able to get a really good cut. All right, you guys, thanks for listening.